Hello again guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're back for another top 100 landing challenge attempt, this time in the default Airbus A320 headed into Rio De Janeiro. As always, the aim of the challenge is to get within the top 100 of the global leaderboard. This landing challenge is certainly one of the easier ones in terms of the approach itself, but as always with the default A320 that does make our work a little bit more difficult than usual. Anyway, as always, I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you do, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. But now let's jump into the cockpit of the A320 and begin our landing attempt. So, welcome back to the flight deck of the default Airbus A320. As you can see, we're just descending through 2,600 feet. We'll keep the aircraft coming down. Off on our left we have the RJ Santos Dumont airport just below us there. Out towards the west is the city of Rio de Janeiro. And behind us off the left wing, just on the edge of the hilltops there, you might just about be able to make out Christ the Redeemer. Anyway, we're not landing at RJ Santos Dumont today, we're continuing along the bay, heading north in towards the Antonio Carlos Jobim airport, which is Sierra Bravo Golf Lima. Might just about be able to make out the runway off at our 11 o'clock, just to the right of the windshield pillar there. We'll continue on this heading for now, and then once we're aligned with the runway centerline, we'll make a shallow left turn in towards runway heading. You can see that we're descending around 900 feet a minute. Usually right now would be roughly on profile, we would be descending at around 700 feet a minute, but as is always the case with the landing challenges in the default A320, I like to get the aircraft low on profile. I find that that helps a lot with the landing and the flare. So almost lined up with the runway now, we'll begin our left turn out towards the northwest. And again, just to help with the peculiarities of the default A320 in its current state, we'll be maintaining 160 knots all the way down the approach, and I've also chosen config 3 for the landing. Overall, this landing challenge is a fairly straightforward one. As you can see, it's just a shallow left turn and then a straight in for the runway. However, the touchdown zone of the runway is actually slightly offset from the runway centerline, as you'll see later on. The touchdown zone is slightly out to the... That's checked, we're essentially stable. The touchdown zone is slightly out to the right of the runway centerline. So you'll see that we'll have to aim to land slightly to the right of the centre line to maximise our ground roll score. That being said, we're currently a little bit too far out to the runway centre line here, so we'll need to correct that. Coming back towards the left. That's checked, 500. Just easing off on our descent right now, you can hear the aircraft's thrust coming up to maintain our speed. 400. 4 reds on the PAPI there, which again I'm happy with right now. That will ensure that the aircraft is closer to the flare attitude when we come for the flare. Just makes handling of the aircraft much easier. 200. Still slightly to the right of the centre line. Again, we do want to be ever so slightly to the right, but still a little bit much currently. 100. So correcting that, almost levelling the aircraft off at this point. 50, 40. Coming back off the thrust, 30, having to fight 20, the controls a little bit in the flare here. There's touchdown, pretty much in the zone, a little bit firm, just keeping slightly out to the right of the runway centerline initially, and allowing the aircraft to drift back onto the centerline. There's 70 knots, cancel the reverse, and we'll bring the aircraft to a stop. So as you can see, that particular landing attempt was good enough for 1.51 million points, which at the time of recording was good enough for the number 53 spot on the global leaderboards. Overall, the landing still had quite a bit of room for improvement there. The precision was good, ground roll could have been better, but again it's quite difficult to work out exactly where the ground roll is measured from on the challenges where the touchdown zone is not lined up with the runway centerline. It's a little bit of guesswork there. Landing smoothness could have been better. As we said during the touchdown, it was a little bit firmer than I would have liked, but again the aircraft behaving quite strangely in the flare. Anyway, number 53, that's still well within inside the top 100. So we'll say that that's mission accomplished. As always guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. If you have any comments or questions for me, please leave them down in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. But for now, thanks very much, and I'll see you all again soon.